You know, I feel like our tour like 3 years ago would have died here twice with an Aegis. So let's just take a quick look at the early game and what we're doing. EG is looking to go to the non-standard spot. So I can just go over that real quick. Like in pubs, at least the pubs I play, pretty much always, like if you're on Radiant, you take this rune, and if you're on Dire, you take, you know, this rune, and the carries play safe. So they're just kind of smoking to the spot where they normally wouldn't be, trying to get a kill. I guess I can just introduce the lineups a little bit here. We're gonna have like Nightfall and Jerax or Crit laning together. I don't know who's gonna lane with him. Crit's the 4 player, so I'd assume Crit, but DK almost always lanes with Grimstroke. It's just such a strong combo. But they could do either or. It doesn't really matter to me. The mid lane, we're going to have Yopaj versus Obid's Ember Spirit. And on top lane, we'll have Arteezy's Ursa versus FBZ's Underlord. And Tim's is going to be playing the position for Pugna. And it looks like Crit will be playing in the safe lane. He's probably still the position 4, but he'll just be playing in the safe lane to give just better lane matchups for EG. So I think EG should have an advantage on this top lane. Ursa, just generally speaking, is very good versus Underlord. One of the hardest counter picks. They decided to save Ursa as their last pick, so they got to choose their lane matchup. And out of all the heroes in Dota, Arteezy decided he wanted to play the Ursa versus the Underlord, and I do not blame him for that. So this bot lane looks like it could be very good for Boom. Because Skim is like, I cast CDBC and he played a decent amount of this Underlord, and he's really good at it. A very strong a Baden player, sorry. He just puts the shield on and clicks you, and it's like, you don't want to do anything. Especially when you skill Dragon Tail, or don't skill Dragon Tail, level 1, you're just going to get punished. So Skim is MVP in this lane for sure. And the mid lane, what's going on here? This is a Kunkka favored matchup. So Kunkka will win the lane, but the downside of Kunkka versus Ember is that Kunkka can't really stun an Ember unless the Ember messes up or you go like the Orchid build. So that's the trade-off. You get to win your lane, but that's about it. How does this happen? Does he get level 2 recent off a creep or something? Yeah, he did. They had lost some creeps for that, but slightly worth it. Let's do a CS check here. Luckily it's a replay, I don't care. Miss all the kills I want. Just orb of venom and right click to death. It's like the saddest death of all time. Normally, like, you don't get killed by a level 2 Ursa like that. Oh, was it this tornado creep that did it? Yeah, okay, that's cancer. So for item builds, Falcon Blade, pretty popular choice in the treads. This guy's just gonna buy 1,000 salves on a Baden. Grimstroke. I mean, he's just probably an Aether Lens or something. Nothing special there. And wards. DK builds are so static. You just buy the Blink, Shard, BKB, Aghanims. That's it. It's cookie cutter. They actually can't stop this. They have 2 heroes that just don't have a stun in the offlane. You know how rare that is to have both your heroes in the offlane not having a stun? That's actually insane. And so they're getting dumpstered because of it. Like, this one little Wild Wing Ripper Tornado, I don't know what they're even called anymore, but the little guys, they can't stop it. You're just gonna press it and just win the lane. That's so sad. So 4-minute runes are coming out. These are always optional, but if you're in a position where you can actually ruin other players' game to do it, it's good. So this is actually, you should try and just stop him, but can he? I guess he can. I guess he just get beat up. So that was really good by Crit to secure this rune, because if Abed didn't get this rune, he would have been in major trouble, like super big trouble. So as a POS 5 player, POS 4 player, always check like the 4-minute rune situation for your mid player. Ideally, he's not in a situation where he needs it, but like some of these matchups are really tough. Like, there's a lot of harass that comes out. There we go again. Yeah, man, I mean, it's got a net creep, a speed creep, and yet again, no stuns whatsoever. This top lane is a absolute disaster. He is farming well, granted. I think it's because Crit as a player likes to focus on the map more so than just one player. Like, he's stacking, he's checking runes. Meanwhile, Tim's is dedicated to laning. If you really think about it, this last move here, this is pretty sad for Artur, and this is because Crit doesn't have a salve. He has to TP home. I think he would have stayed top net worth if Crit had a salve, personally speaking, right? But he didn't. Like, he had a Bassi, he bought sentries. They just didn't have enough region for him to keep going for these kills. And that makes it so even though FBC dies here, he's still going to be fine in net worth. Just because he's going to get all these creeps, and he's, more importantly, going to be able to hold the wave here. Some good aggro play right there. You want to keep your wave right here. So he just, like, aggroed DK bottom or something and tried to bring the creeps back.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Nothing special there. 6-minute runes, those are special. Crit again. I'm gonna try and secure these. That's a DD. Albed would want it, but unfortunately he will not be getting it. But it's more important that Nupaj doesn't get it. So checking these runes, as you can see, both supports do it. I'm gonna be like a broken record on this. Always, always, always try to get those 6-minute runes if you have anyone in the game that can use them, right? If it's like a Meepo versus TA mid, then maybe those runes aren't super important. But those matchups are very rare. So I like what Artur is doing here for if you're a carry player in general. He's forcing Underlord to pretty much do bad firestorms. He's not committing. He doesn't want to fight under it. He's like jumps in, hits him once. FBC kind of has to drop it because Artur won't stop until he does drop it, and then he just disengages. So now he doesn't get the option to use the firestorm on the wave, right? He's putting in a position that is not desirable. And honestly, Crit is like kind of just sacking Artur up here. I mean, he's fine on Artur. He's fine, but he's not committing to like winning this lane, right? It's not a commitment. It's more of like, I want to find an opportunity to do something else on the map when I have the chance. Because if they could get their lane back here, then they could honestly own this lane hard. But as you can see, like, Ursa's net worth is very average. Even though he's got 2 kills. He's not like hitting that many creeps. It's really just like a preference type of thing. Things that I do when I play Shen, because I'm like a different player, I'm not as active of a ganker, is I would just sit there and deny every creep from him and make sure my Ursa gets free farm, but it's really just a preference thing. Crit has decided to TP bottom and apply pressure with the DK. But they need more heroes to do it, yeah, so they bring Abed. Alright, so this rotation's good. If you need to bring your mid for this, but you gotta be careful for Yopaj. She has the TP ready for this. So if you're Jackie right now, you want to be really careful not to get initiated on, unless you're really deep, right? And by being deep, I mean like where my cursor is. Like, you want to be in here, you want to be over here, you want to be like back here. You want to be in a position where if they dive you and Yopaj TP's in, he's gonna like clean house, right? And for now, they need to chill. And look, Yopaj can just hit this tower now. That's it. Simple as that. Abed realizes that, and it's like the play he wanted to make, his time expired. And for EG, this is like incredibly bad for them. Like, Crit went bottom to make this play. They were very slow on EG. They didn't connect at the same time. And during that whole time, Tim's decided to focus on Artur. And you'll see this Ursa's game. It's not good anymore. He had 2 kills. He could have snowballed super crazy in this game. But they went for like some high risk plays and it just didn't work out. Very good by both sides. They tried to make a play on mid lane. Abed perfectly dodges the boat and pretty much the whole combo from Kunkka. So we discussed before, like, good Kunkka players. Oh, alright, and Skim just looks like he's gonna get bullied. On Ember. You can dodge all his spells with 2 of your abilities. It's pretty sad, but you will be farmed. You will be farmed, that's for sure. So I do like this play a lot. And we're gonna go back to like see when it happened. So Razor is not comfortable and not healthy to defend this bottom tower. So when this happens, right, you're in a situation where the enemy team is going to be able to pressure faster than you. You have two choices. One is you pressure this back. Two is you defend. And if you lose this tower and you're not even close to taking this tower, you can be pretty sure that they're going to come and defend this tower. He's realizing that he is not going to be able to trade towers in this scenario. He can't trade. He's not going to be fast enough. So he chooses to defend. And it's going to slow the game down, which is going to be good for them, because if they don't do this, it's going to end up just EG's just going to be playing really fast. They're going to be able to go mid right after. They're going to defend their safe lane, and they're not going to be able to do much on the map. So this is just good recognition to be like, okay, I can't do anything. I have to go now. Like, ignore these creeps, honestly. He just needs to go. Because he needs his Firestorm to, like, defend this. And then EG is going to be like, okay, Underlord's here, Kunkka has TP. I don't know if we can do this. And this is going to slow things down. And ultimately be good for Boom.
The lines of your fate come to an end.
Yeah, I just feel like Boom has like lost 7 heroes just randomly in here. Just to these wards that EG has. They're like trying to like get rid of them, but they just can't. And crit sacrificed himself, but he kept his creeps. That's the important part. Probably didn't expect Razor to be there. Interesting enough, they decided to give this farm to Tim's, and Razor's just gonna jungle. I'm not entirely sure on what the absolute best play is, but... Oh, he has no TP, no wonder, okay. I was gonna say, like, efficiency-wise, you kind of want someone to be jungling, so I get why they might do this. But you also want to pressure too, but... Razor TP'd down there to kill the Shen, but now both their cores ended up being in the same lane, so Razor just decided to leave, because as a carry player, you don't want to sit down here. This is like the dead lane, you're just collecting farm that comes in, and that's about it. EG realized Underlord was kind of stuck down there. He does have ulti now, though, so maybe they're not respecting that enough. But they are making a fast smoke play. It's a little unpredictable. Boom is definitely not ready for it. And they even brought the Ursa for it. Yopaj should just get out, but... Nope. He got caught. He is very tanky, though, on this Kunkka. That much is for sure. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's just go back and watch this thing real quick. So he canceled him. But, like, he's just being kept alive. I don't know how this fight's gonna end, but you see, like, the Ursa's gonna try and go in the best he can. He doesn't have anything, but the Link instantly broken. Instantly. It's a level 3 Link. I think Arteezy would for sure be dead if he was linked right now. A little bit of a rare mistake here from Jackie. I think that could have been like a wash of a fight for them if he got that link off properly. Meanwhile, Nightfall is just pressuring the mid lane. Probably has this Blink Dagger coming out right now. He's good to go. So Boom is playing for their farm a lot again in this game. I can see why they don't hit towers very well. They don't have many stuns either. It's really just Yopaj is their only real stun. They're gonna have an Atos soon, so maybe that's what they'll wait for. And Arteezy's honestly fairly poor this game. I would expect him to be a lot more after I saw the draft, but the lane did not. The lane strangely went well enough, but didn't. Oh, Yopaj going to Ember. No, you can't get anything there. Just dead.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, guys, if you want to learn to play like Arteezy here you go. 100% for sure, if I were to join a pub right now, this Ursa would go run back to the triangle, and he would go farm, right?
Attack.
But Arteezy realizes that the mid tower is the most important objective in the game, and they just killed Kunkka, the strongest hero on the map. If he joins this fight, this means that they can actually go for this tower. If he doesn't join this fight, that means they're just going to trade some Ancients. That Kunkka kill is going to be it, and they can't go any further. There will just be no way of doing it. So like this is actually a really good play by RTZ. I like it a lot. It's a very aggressive play. I know he gets a lot of memes on for just like farming all the time, but he knows when to be aggressive too, for sure. And these plays really do prove it. But unfortunately, they're just this double support doesn't allow them to do it. It should allow them to secure this tower though, and I think that is the whole reason of why he even went to this middle lane. Like, there's really no other reason. And it's worth it. You know, he's gonna miss 1 ancient camp. He might miss 0 ancient, by the way, if he stacks those. Quite literally, I think he will stack this, and he will have missed nothing for making that play. So it's farm efficiency plus doing stuff on the map and being active on a carry to help your team when needed. So it's 15 minutes into the game now. This one's a bit of a slow burner here. People are trying to farm their BKB like on Razor. Pugna's just, you know, doing Pugna stuff. Just gonna sit in the back. Doesn't really matter what item he buys, I think. Skim, same thing. Also gonna sit in the back. 2 supports with no stuns. An off-laner without a stun. This boom draft is actually insane. Like, they're very survivable and tanky. So if they outlast them, that's how the team fights are gonna have to go. But their initiation burst is incredibly bad comparatively to EG. Like, EG has like double stun, follow-up stuns, you know, these roots. But this is what Boom has. A lot of farming potential and a lot of counter initiation potential. So it's basically going to be EG initiating, Boom counter initiating, and we'll see which one is stronger, because it's really hard to say. Depends on how the fight goes. Numbers advantage takes a big consideration in that. But Jackie does have his BKB available now. Would love to see him try to make something happen with this BKB. Because BKB right now is pretty much invincibility. Ursa does not hit hard enough. And is very controllable. I say that, they don't have any stuns though, but... Oh. There goes their only stun. BKB's up. BKB Link. That was a really good Soul Link there. What do you want to call it? Soul Bind cancels the grip, but DK will die as a result. Abed showing that he can never be stunned by a Konka on Ember. If you have to see it. He's just like really good on his heroes. I say his heroes, but like there's actually a ton of heroes he's good at that he just doesn't get to play. He's a good player. Lepage, again, the counter initiation is not stronger. So going back to this fight, this is Lepage likes going in the mid lane. Like, if any Boom players are watching this, you know, you have a talk with this guy. Like, amazing player and all, but he feeds on the mid lane a lot. And this the reason why he hasn't died in this game specifically is because he's playing Konka and very tanky. But the co-op game in game 1, man, it was the same thing. And he's got initiated so many times already this game and just didn't die because he's playing Konka. But his luck is run out at this point. You have to realize that this Razor has used his BKB. You got to be a little careful. And if you are going to let him farm this mid lane, supports, please be behind him. Right? They're just not ready for this. Or did they just mess up? Nah. What? The cast range? I see. 400 cast range on the Crepify, so he ran up and got hit by an Ink Swell. Either way, that was a really good call by EG, knowing Razor has no BKB. He's effectively not a hero. And instantly jumping Lepage mid before he finishes BKB. It was actually coming on the courier, so that just happens. If you're going to be a little greedy like that, it can snowball the game. Like, that one wave effectively gave Roshan away and control of like pretty much the mid game now. Just playing around with him. They got the Aegis, Ursa using Rage, so they do want to get out of here. You see Nightfall spamming that he wants to push bottom wave out because it's pushing. then everyone's drawing in the triangle of EG here. So you can see the call that EG made here, right? They took a fight in the mid lane. They used their spells. It didn't go well. They see Boom is hungry for kills. What is the first thing they do? They push both side lanes. Because after you push both these side lanes and Boom fails the smoke here, or maybe they catch a Chen, maybe they catch a Jarex, it's not really a big deal. As long as they don't catch a big core here. They're going to have to go think about defending these lanes now that they're pushed. And that will then give EG the opportunity to make a play on the map. Right, he's not going to show until they show, right? Because, like, that's just how it would be, right? But he's in position. He's in the right spot. If, like, if they went mid, if they killed Jarex here, he would have cleaned those creeps for sure. Abed doesn't care because they realize they would not smoke up here to here. That just seems dumb. There are two options. They smoked here, or they smoked here, and then made a U-turn and went here. So now they got this lane in their control. FBZ went to the lane that he has in control, which is good. You know, I feel like Artur, like, 3 years ago would have died here twice with an Aegis. He no longer has this tendency of having Aegis and dying in, like, a really bad spot. Looks like he's completely removed that mistake from his vocabulary. Very patient.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Alright. I want to see, like, how EG transitioned this, actually. So I noticed EG likes to bluff a lot. Artur used his TP to get out of here. Went bottom. He has the Aegis. So this is a bluff. For sure. Being like, okay, Ursa's bottom. We're going to pretend like we're behind our Ursa. But in reality, we're going to go somewhere else. So they let Ursa continue one wave here. But Crit went bottom and top instead of going bottom as part of the bluff. Like, yeah, they're not going to go on him with 5 heroes. There's no way. So we're going to go on this Underlord top. The only way he can join this fight on Underlord is through his ulti. But they got enough stuns to, like, make that not a reality. So that was, like, a really good bluff by EG. Being like, you know, we're going to show Ursa bottom. We're going to assume that they're not going to bring 5 heroes to deal with this. And we're going to go kill top lane. Ooh.
Radiant are scanning.
They have a smoke here. What's their play? So Boom has this really weird tendency, in my opinion, to overreact. So I kind of look at this, right? They're either overreacting or underreacting, however you want to look at it. But either way, one thing is for sure, that this is not communicated very well. So they saw Ursa down here. They don't know if he has a TP or not. Jackie's farming down here. And then as soon as we put the X on top of the Chen, Underlord's dead. Razor has to come for this kill. He does. Or it's like no other way, right? So he's X'd and everything, but Razor's not interested in this. He wants to farm, right? But the weird part is he still commits, right? He just TP'd. He commits after the fact that they can't get the kill anymore. There's no boat anymore. He has to be there for when the X and boat goes off. Now committing is awful for him because he could have just stayed down here and farmed, right? He decided to farm that extra wave, so he should farm. They wasted boat. They wasted everything. That's their only stun. So this to me is kind of weird play. It's like they use all their spells, and then they want to fight after they use their spells. And the result, EG's just going to be like, alright, whatever. We're just going to leave. They're just poking him here. They have no intentions of fighting here. And as you can see, it's the same thing as before. They're controlling the side lanes right now. Fundamentally, EG has been on top for a very long time for a reason, because they've kept the same core concepts, right? And they're all showing. Like, they know when to poke, they know when to push side lanes. The one thing that they might be a little weak in is potentially team fighting, which is a big part of Dota, and why they could be losing some of their games. But the only game I've covered from EG so far is a game that they have won, so I've yet to see the bad team fights. So Jarex is out here on some dewarding mission, but these deaths, if you think about it, they're really not that bad. Like, Arteezy's still farming over here. Nightfall is farming here. They're pressuring this tower. Ember's over here, grabbing waves with a remnant out. like a psycho. Like, this is actually insane.
Radiant's top tower is
But
under
they can't
attack.
catch him. Like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna X him? Yeah, I guess. And then here's another overreaction I'm talking about. 3 TPs to the top lane to kill some Shen creeps? Artura must feel so happy right now, except for he's sad because this ward is blocking his ancients. It's actually stopping a lot. And look at Abed. This is why it's really hard to play versus Abed and his spirits if you don't pick any stuns. Their lanes are like a complete disaster. But the real question is, when are they going to do anything? So like, it's very clear that EG's game plan right now is that they don't want to use this first Aegis. They just don't want to use it. Right. He's been farming safe farm with it, not playing in the enemy's face at all with it. I don't know if that's the right play. It's a fine play, and there's nothing wrong with it. Seems like he values his BKB more than just having fighting on Aegis. So, and maybe in his mind he feels like this game is just over once he gets like Blink Nullify or something. Alright, they initiate on the Underlord here, but they got a lot of saves running here. The Pugna goes down, but SPC is still alive. Nightfall has overcommitted, and looks like Yopaj will finish him up. Artur has to run. He has used his Enrage. Razor has 75 damage on him. Oh my goodness.
Radiant's middle
That
tower is
is
under attack.
very unfortunate for the Razor. So that kind of like break down that team fight a little bit. Everything that happened here is interesting, right? To me, at least. So the reason why EG's taking this fight, let's watch their perspective, because they are the initiators of this fight. And it's going to go back to Vision, right? They see them here. I think they're still going to give them respect. Still give them respect. When do they stop giving respect? Right now, okay. It's because Jarex is nearby, I guess. Abed's here with BKB. I don't know if they saw Razor going top or not. I don't think they did. I think this was just a jump to try and burst them. But they couldn't. To be totally honest with you, they just couldn't. And then this happens, right? They save their Underlord. Pugna dies. They kill DK. And this is where, like, I'd always like to pause the game and just really consider. Like, take a step back and, like, consider the state of the game now. Because this is a win for Boom. Right? It's just a definitive win. Now let's go to their vision and see what they see. Okay, so they have used their BKB on Razy. They have used their Link. Like, they have no boat. X is coming up, sure, but no boat. FBZ is almost dead, and EG was just here, and they don't have a ward. So they're fighting under EG's vision, which they could probably have a decent idea that this is happening, for sure. But they need to think about, is this worth continuing the fight? Right? They did not see Ursa BKB at all. They didn't see anything. This chase here would be like, hey, if you're a Razor player, hey guys, I got no Link, I got no BKB. This is a win, take it. This chase is incredibly greedy. If they have a BKB available, so look. He goes in, no BKB. He's dead, no Link. He doesn't have anything.
Is under attack.
Underlord has nothing as well. So that fight was good for Boom, but a little undisciplined to like continue to chase after not having any spells up.
Is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I don't know. That's just we can watch that if you guys want, but Abed's just doing Abed things.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just chasing him down to the end of the universe.
Radiant's
So I do think at this point in the game, EG's in full control of this game.
Radiant's bottom
I think
tower
Ursa's a
is under
great
attack.
hero in this game. He has a lot of good options. Blink Nullifier. Guess he needs a lot of items. Pugnus. There's a reason why this Pugna doesn't lose many games. Like, you just have to, like, have +1 item on a carry to even play the game. It's so stupid.
Radiant's bottom
It's like, on top of the items you already need just to play the game, you also just need a casual Nullifier to also play the game. Very cool. What's happening now? What's happening? Underlord's just gonna take one wave down here and play defensively. They need to get a foothold on the map. So they'll play some wards. Get this lane shoved. I like that, I like that. Meanwhile, EG is also looking for an opportunity to find something happen in the game. So one thing that just like, I'll probably repeat myself a lot, but there's not a lot of things in Dota you need to remember. And a lot of them are repetitive. It's just sometimes very difficult to remember to do them, right? And so the big thing that during downtimes that you should be thinking about more than anything is just getting the lanes shoved out. And simple reason for that is when these lanes are shoved out, they give you an option to do something on the map. And that option can be, especially if you're a lower MMR player, you see this lane get shoved out, you see someone TP up here, right, from the enemy team. Now you have an option, because you forced a TP up there, to make a play somewhere else on the map. Something you generally don't want to do is force yourself to be stuck in a part of the map, unless you have a smoke. And Boom is definitely getting stuck a lot on the map, right? EG outplays them really hard on the map. You see, like, they force them all bottom, immediately TP, and go to the opposite side. This is just like clockwork, right? They saw them all bottom, kind of what I was talking about. You shove the lane out, group up, smoke it up if you need to, go to the opposite side of the map that they were just at, and then you might be able to find a kill there. There are things you can do to mess this up, though, for sure. But generally speaking, like, Boom does not want to just stay here. Like, there's nothing for them here. If they stay here forever, and EG gets control and vision here, now they can't walk back up here. Now the second Rosh that's going to come out, which is the big one, is going to be, like, given away for free. But Artur goes in, he's sitting in the Firestorm. He's actually taking a lot of damage. Forces his ulti a little early, I'd say. Abed being very patient with this BKB, but going in a little crazily. The boat comes out, are we going to get triple BKBs? So, let's see what Abed can do. They're down on BKBs now. Arteezy has the BKB, but that's about it. And Rage is coming back off cooldown now too. But the Link is up too with the Razor, so Razor is going to beat into Abed here. This looks like a very difficult fight now for Arteezy to take. He is now X'd. Rage is running out with no BKB, and he's just dead. So, quite simply put, my analysis of what's happening right now is that EG is not very good at team fighting. Like, they play the map probably one of the best, right? I can't really think of many teams that play a map better than them. But like, if you kind of look at their team fighting as a whole, it's very desynced, and I don't understand like what they're doing here. And they probably don't even understand what they're doing here. So like, Artur blows his ulti to get out. I guarantee you he does not want to fight right now. But he's used to Abed doing stuff like this, just being crazy. So he's like, alright, Abed's just going to be Abed. I'm out of here. He'll find a way out of this. But Jerix is not on the same page. Nightfall is not on the same page. Crit and Arteezy are on the same page. Like, they're like, alright, I'm out of here. Like, we don't want to continue this. Let's just wait for our cooldowns. And let's go again later. And meanwhile, while this is happening, Abed's being Abed. Jerix gets caught. And this is not a hero you want to get caught in this situation. He wants to keep throwing ink swells out all in this Ember and continue initiating. Now, boom. There goes your ink swells. Artur and Crit still don't want to fight. You can see they have not hit a single hero in this team fight. They have done nothing after they disengaged. Now they're kind of forced to fight. And they kind of get baited into a bad fight. No, he got the halberd off before the BKB. It's huge. And then they end up getting like a full link on Jackie here. Ember has no more remnants. He doesn't have much to play with, and now Artur is too deep. There's nothing he can do here. He's just stuck. Pugna's saving everybody. Absolutely everybody with this obnoxious Decrepify spell. And that's it. It's a wrap. It's a 3-2-2. this is cool.
Dire's middle tower is
Just
under
like a
attack.
quick heal. Are you not allowed to put this in the fountain? I have never really tried. Probably not.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
See, that's not even like an Uber anymore. Like, I don't even know what to describe that
Dire's
as.
middle tower is under
It's like a teleportation pad. Ember's dead. Free Roshan. And this is the big one, too. So Dota's always like been a very snowball intensive game. If you really think about it. Like one small thing can lead into like so many other small things. Anyways, there's going to be a huge team fight here. They got the link off on Dragonite. He's going to have to exit the fight.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Razor's pretty strong, but he has no spells, so it looks like they're just going to be okay with disengaging this and just taking the spoils of war. The Shard and the Aegis. That was cute. So that actually ended up working out really well for EG, and I wonder why. Like, there has to be something here that they should have done better here on Boom.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I think Jackie had the right idea. See, Vules. Oh my goodness. What's going on? Alright, so the moment they mess that up, Jackie BKB'd. I just have so much to say about this, and it's crazy. Skim's dead. Yopaj here. Dude. Can they just get out? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like what they should be just talking about,
Radiant's top tower
like crazy, is like this refresher orb. And because the fact that they're preemptively using BKBs to secure this Roche, this should be a retreat. I honestly, like, if they're playing this perfectly, right, I know it's really hard in the moment to, like, make these decisions, but if you're playing perfectly and you preemptively BKB to secure the Roche, they should just TP out on all their cores right now. Like, this fight is a disaster. Supports are getting gone on. They're not in good position. They should just TP out. But they choose to take this fight anyway, and causes it to be a disaster. But it is really good from EG here to, like, have the confidence, really, to take this fight, even though they're down like this. I could see this fight going really poorly for them, but if they don't make this play in the game, they would be on a really big disadvantage. So the game is completely dead even now here at 30 minutes into the game. So Abed's going to do what he does a lot. For those of you that play mid lane and like being an annoying spirit picker, this is what you do, right? Especially if you're in a game where there's very little stuns against you. You go to the lane that your carry is not at.
Radiant's top
Don't take
tower
your
is
carry's
falling.
farm. And you take that wave. Right? And that's very annoying for the enemy.
Tower is under
Because
attack.
now all three of your lanes will be pushing. Timeout. We have a penalty right now. Nightfall and Jarex are penalized right now. Abed is bottom. He did not have a remnant. You have not collected this mid wave yet. Where's Arteezy? Going for the mid wave. Fundamentally, he knows he wants this wave. Abed knows he wants this wave.
Radiant's top tower is under
Jarex and Nightfall are... I mean, Jarex is right-clicking a tier 2 as a Grimstroke. Actually, that's just bad. I don't know what else to say, honestly. And that baits Nightfall to go in. Now he's stuck. TP out. Not much more you can do. Cut your losses. But now they lose this control for 2 auto attacks from a Grimstroke on a tier 2. Don't do that. Everyone makes mistakes. We're all human. No Aegis anymore. I think Arteezy realizes he desperately needs... Okay, so he's forcing reaction down here, and he knows just as well as we know that as long as he has a TP and a BKB, no matter what they do down here, he can't die. And in fact, it's not even just that. It's not even just one hero can TP down here and threaten him. It has to be Razor plus one, honestly, Kunkka or the Underlord. So he knows he can get a big reaction by coming down here. Now he sees that the X was used. He's safe now. Now Kunkka can no longer come down here, which means they have choices. They can trade. Same concept. No TP means no matter what happens, Kunkka can't be down here anymore unless Underlord does the TP. So I actually sometimes forget about this spell. So he can technically be down there, but it's going to be a little delayed and slow. So if they're set up on EG, that would be an advantage for them. So EG has the choice to either sack this tower. It's more like a trade, right? They trade towers here. Or they can just try fighting them straight up if they wanted to, but Grim's dead, so they feel pretty safe for now. And Abed has a Remnant right now. Just doing Abed things. Being annoying. Gonna catch this mid wave, I assume, as well. And then go to bottom and just really trying to maximize on the farm here. I mean, Abed really is such a good Spirit player. He does like all the small micro things like correctly on these heroes. Like, he keeps up his farm by being annoying cutting waves. He's always in your face, like just pressuring you, diving you. It's always a treat to watch him play. Alright, so Jarex really wants to push top lane. He does. And it's fine if he does too. He should get this lane going right now. It's already going. Him going another wave, in my opinion, here is just a little extra farm. Doesn't really do anything for you. It's like, you can, sure. I hope he doesn't keep going. He does. Alright, well, if he wants to keep doing this, he should know that his team can no longer make a play. Like, if he was ready here and TP'd to this outpost right now, they could plant some vision here and they could be ready to fight. But if he wants to go like 3 waves like this, his team just has to go back. And we'll see if that has consequences here. Sometimes it will have consequences, sometimes it won't. It really depends. And Nightfall's doing some crazy smoke. So if you look at the lanes now, EG know for a fact that something's happening. Like, bottom lane, no one's farming. No one's farming here. Always check the waves. Waves are like the fundamental like thing of Dota, I guess, to put it. Like, they are just Dota. Like, they give you the most information. Like, they're just walking wards, essentially. Mid lane, cut. No one's there. No one's there. And even if they do catch crit here, he was trying to be safe about it, right? But look how bad Boom's waves are right now. They're awful. Even though they get this kill, they're going to get nothing out of it. In fact, they're just losing net worth to towers. And they use a smoke for that. That does not feel good. So still, map movement stuff, EG seems very superior to Boom. Yeah, I'm not really discussing draft very much. Like, discussing draft is like a different topic. Maybe later in the future I can do like some in-depth draft analysis, but for now, I'm just sticking it to play. Let's just talk about like why this is happening, right? It's very simple. Ember breaks a link. He's like, all right, sees Pugna top, and this is a trigger, right? And this makes it so EG makes the call to jump mid. The only reason that they're jumping mid in this moment right now is for that simple reason, right? They see 2 top and Ember's here. He has a Remnant somewhere too. I don't know where his Remnant is. Is that it? I think it's there. And he's just like wasting their time right now. And they know they have a number advantage in this fight, and they're going for it. He's gonna kite R4. Abed's here with that Remnant I talked about before. Now you can see how this is like, this is beautiful play right now from EG, right? Abed forced 2 heroes to chase them up here, joined them, pincered, and now they're 5. Fundamentally, they took this about as good as you could. But they decided not to commit. I need to figure out, is Arteezy just playing like a wussy? Is that what's happening here? I see him running away. So I know he really wants to play around his BKB timing. I get it. Like, they fundamentally right now are in such a great spot. This guy has, like... I get it. You still don't want to go. You can chill. You're getting kited. Now you go. Can they not just commit up here? Because, like, to me, it's one of two things. Like, two heroes are still not even here yet. You either commit up here with this BKB and enrage, you finish this guy off. Your Dragon Knight's flying over the trees here. Like, you're good. Grimstroke's just gonna do his thing from the back. Shen is here too. He still has heal available. And Ember's with you. You're 5 heroes. Like, he's got stacks right now. He has stacks on both FBC. 5 of them. He's got a couple on the Kunkka too, I believe, right? But for some reason here, he's backing up with his spells up. His DK's here with them, and his whole team is here. Shen's here as well, the Lotus. And if you are going to do this, and you're going to back like this, and you want to play like, super conservative, right? If you want to be like super conservative like this, the whole team has to be on the same page. Right, because this fight's over now. You've basically just given them the high ground. And you don't have spells. But, like, after his BKB goes up, he goes in from, like, a different angle. And now, his team's back. And they're just all dead. It's just like super weird decision making and like team fighting communication. I feel like they just commit and they win that fight, but it's weird that they choose not to commit and they just commit at a different time, you know? It wasn't like a better time or anything. It's just a time where BKB was down, honestly. And the targets that you were focusing like disengaged already. I mean, Ursa should only care about his BKB. You're sort of correct, but the problem is he didn't actually care about his BKB. He pretended like he cared about his BKB, but then didn't. And that's where it's just like bad communication. That stuff isn't really just always like one player. Like you could get jebaited easily. It could be like that. Maybe that was his plan initially to like just go back with a BKB, and I would have been okay with that. And then maybe his team was like, no, go, 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 go. And then he's like, all right, and then goes and gets pressured into doing something he did not want to do. Who knows? We can only speculate. The only thing that we can do is just look at what happened, and that is just the facts, right? Oh no. So Boom is kind of like a one-trick pony in a lot of ways. Like, they do the same thing over and over again. And it's kind of like random in a way because they don't care about a lot of map movement and stuff. They just kind of go as 5. Like, they don't care this lane's garbage. They don't care if their other lane's garbage. They don't care if mid lane's garbage. They just go. They just catch you by surprise. Like, they just brought a ex-Kunkka. Alright. This is what I mean. It's like, it's so chaotic, right? Like, Kunkka comes down here. He X's himself to take care of the wave, right? And you think to yourself, like, alright, he's defending the wave. That's fine. And then all of a sudden, FBZ is here. And it's like, in your mind, you're just like, why would FBZ be here when Kunkka just X'd himself here? So Abed's just like, I guess they got a BKB out of this. This is... There must be more heroes here. But in reality, Boom is just back here. Like, it's just so incredibly random. That they probably just have no idea what's going on right now. And you know, Chaos is hard to play against. To be fair, it is difficult to play against players that you just don't know what they're gonna do. Now, I'm not saying their plays are bad on Boom by any means. I'm just saying they're very hard to read. They're very difficult to read. You can have something called organized chaos. It does exist.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
It's just very easy to get trapped in your own organized chaos sometimes and confuse yourselves. Alright, we have officially reached the point of the game. And I'll say it that like after 37-minute neutral items come out, I think any team can win. It's really simple as that. These 37-minute items are OP. The map becomes a situation where if one hero dies, the respawn timers are very long. So if the game at 37 minutes in, plus, more like 38, 39, because you have to get the neutral items first. I feel like it's anyone's game. Unless you're like super far ahead and have total map control. But in a game like this where the map is like 50-50, net worth hardly matters anymore. It just comes down to making good plays. Skim is like doing a really good job here. If you're playing a Baden, always follow your strongest hero in the game. Generally, that'll be your mid player in the early game, and then in the late game, that'll be your carry. So EG's setting up a point of vision here so they can get a jump. Meanwhile, Boom is doing a good job cutting these waves, cutting mid wave. Abed's just going to deal with all the lanes that are pretty dangerous because he has a remnant. And they're just going to wait. They're going to plant all these wards, and if anyone ever looks to deward here or show on this vision, Nightfall will jump them. That is their plan. And it's the same for Boom. They're not going to leave this vision. They're going to like wait for someone to come here and then jump them. Unless they're planning to use a smoke to get on the map. So Nightfall is kind of leaving his vision right now, but he has a gem. Might be planned. Oh, this looks spicy. They're just going to start hitting Roshan. And Skim on his Abaddon is just going to chill there. EG didn't get this wave. But I guess Abed can be there. But the problem with Abed right now is he doesn't have a remnant, so he has to go back. But now, that's just going to mean they have to be careful for this wave. It's a catapult wave. They're manning up. They're going to drop vision. A quick D-ward. Beautiful. Jackie's in with the refresher orb. He's going to be able to get a double link off. He's going to kill Jerax first. Trying to kite this Ursa. He has refresher ready for another link. Oh, broke it immediately, but DK is already super far in, and our tour is out. So that was beautiful, like from Boom. They put in their strongest hero first, Razor, instantly dewarded, and he just charged in there. His target selection, I'm not sure if like chasing down Jerax like that was the right call or not, but it seemed to work out. And EG wasn't ready for this, right? Because like they're controlling two wards at once, this one, and honestly they don't know which direction Boom will come from, so they're just sitting in the middle. But because Boom was there as 5 first, they go. I'm thinking about this. This torrent was actually so clutch by the Kunkka. Because like this is like very strange prioritization. Like they want to ignore the Razor, but can they? Right? Our tour can't hit anything. I don't know. I feel like they just had to like hit the Razor there. Like they don't really have much of another choice. I think at this point of the game, EG are really lacking in like a stuns department. I think a lot of it has to do with that Ursa has to go for a nullifier. Like it's so bad. Pugna's so annoying. Like, if you had an Abyssal Blade or something there, he could be the one just initiating on Razor. Getting Lotused. Like, it's not the biggest deal if he gets linked. He's an Ursa after all, but it's always nice to, like, have that little bit of extra damage, too. It's just with this a bat in here, it's very difficult for them to, you know, as DK being their only like stun. I feel like carries are like in kind of like a weird spot right now too. It's like this Ursa hero, if you can only fight during the duration of your 6-second BKB and like that's it, and you're playing versus a bunch of like really tanky heroes, it seems very hard to play. Whereas like, you know, heroes like Medusa and TA that can just consistently just do damage without having to worry about like some short burst window. I'm just a little underwhelmed by the Ursa this game, to be totally honest with you. And it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. And it is their last pick here, right? So you can argue maybe his heroes aren't the best with the Ursa on his team. But he chose to pick that hero with the current heroes on his team. It doesn't look like he's able to do much of anything this game.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
There goes all of Ursa's spells. You're going to see Artur's going to run away now. Oh, he has his BKB up actually now. So, see, they can kill him, right? The one time they commit to it, he has a he has an Aegis. Makes you wonder, should they have tried that earlier? Goodbye, Nightfall. All in all, it's a good fight for EG. Yeah, they didn't use any buybacks. They got the Aegis, 3 kills. And that was like one of the few fights I just saw them commit fully with all their heroes. So Abed's gonna deal with these lanes. So we're in the ultra late game. Things are always like really complex in the ultra late game, and a lot of teams have like certain strategies and ideas. But the main concept almost always for these late game situations is shove lanes, fight on vision. That's it. You want to get the lanes out because kills are what matter the most. Buybacks start costing more gold. Death timers start becoming longer. All these give you bigger windows and bigger openings to eventually win the game. Ursa has MKB. He's going to... Why would you ever go Daedalus on Ursa? Am I missing something here? Surely he's not going to do it, right? I think he just has something queued up to have it queued up. Say crit will sacrifice his life. Ursa no BKB, so he's out again. And the thing is, if they do want to play the game for like some crazy burst scenario, I think Ursa has to be the one leading the fights, and Nightfall coming in second. Like, this is like, this whole game, I'm just hearing in my voice, like, Arteezy's just like, I have no BKB, guys. We gotta wait for my BKB. I just see his team jumping in and he's and just dying. And he's like, hey guys, just wait my BKB, please. Please wait.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now Nightfall has no BKB. Ember's dead. It's looking grim. And there we go. No BKB right now. Help. I can't kill anyone with no BKB. I mean, he can't kill anyone either. This cheeser. I mean, he has to use everything to maybe kill Underlord. And that's just like a maybe. water show goes off and they just finish the barracks. And there we go. Oh no. Alright, so that for sure should be it. Good comeback by Boom. I would say for this game, Boom's strength, definitely their team fighting. They have really good spell casting, and their team fighting is quite good. They play as a team really well. Their map movement overall, definitely worse than EG's. I think EG outplayed Boom most of this game, especially on the map and how to move. But EG's team fighting, it was definitely hard this game to team fight, but it was also definitely sloppy. So I can still see they have like remnants of like the old EG where their map movement and everything on the map looks very crisp, but what's not looking crisp right now is their focus fighting, or focus targeting, sorry, in the team fights, and deciding when and when they do not want to fight in like a hectic team fight. They seem to be like a type of team that is very good at the fundamentals, and they sit down and they learn concepts, right? But when it gets a bit chaotic, they don't have their cool as much as Boom would, for an example. And that pretty much concludes EG vs Boom game number 2.